Well, welcome back to the garage. We're actually going to do a little bit of repair work today. Yeah, we're going to be working on the 89 BMW because I ripped the rear sway bar mount off the rear control arm. So we're going to be re-welding these on, and this really isn't a how-to weld. It's not. This is literally showing that anybody with some practice, just a little bit of general knowledge of welding can actually do this. I've only been doing this for a little over a year. I actually repaired my garage door, the main hanger there that pulls it up, actually ripped off, and I went and I welded it back together. So I'm going to be using a titanium 125 from Harbor Freight. I bought it with my own money. It's just nice to have a brand new welder, where nothing is messed up on it. It's a simple flux core, nothing fancy. It can easily weld 90% of the things you're going to need to do on a car, because it's just a little messier. But what you do is that they have a dip, and then they have an anti-splatter spray that you can just put on the area around where you're welding, and then the splatter just wipes right off. The other really neat thing is that you need to have a gauge like this. They're cheap, but you need to know how thick this metal is before you start welding, because you really need to know how much power you're going to be putting into it. Because what you are doing, and what was wrong with the weld I had done on this, so you can see here that it was like tack welded. Well, and there's no penetration. What you're trying to do when you weld is you're fusing this metal to the other metal. I mean, you're fusing it. So it has to be hot enough to melt into this and melt this slightly, but not hot enough to burn right through it. Thin metal's harder than thick. This is eighth steel, and that's pretty hard to melt through. I also had repaired my I'll show a picture of my trailer. I actually put the swing case on the outside, about the same thickness metal. My welds aren't beautiful, but they're strong, and it's just through practice. So you shouldn't be scared to weld. And the basic thing is lots of precautions. Make sure you always have a helmet that gets dark. I would also recommend that if you wear glasses that auto darken, that you have a spare set that don't, because that is UV, and these glasses get dark when I expose to that light. Even with the helmet on, it gets dark and you won't be able to see your weld. You need lots and lots of light to see your weld. That is one of the things I've really learned, is the brighter the light, the better. Usually I weld outside in the sun, because then it's super bright, I can see what I'm doing. But this is underneath a car. You need to actually really focus a lot of light just on that area. The other thing is getting comfortable with your position. You'll see that I'm going to be trying to use, propping everything up and going. The one thing is, as a newer welder, is that I actually slow the speed down a little bit, just because if it's too fast, you'll glomp it up, and that's actually really bad to do. So I slow it down a little bit for myself. May or may not be right, but I know it's just a way for me to actually make sure I weld well. And honestly, no one should be scared of welding. And as an old car hobbyist, you probably should learn how to do this. It's not very hard. There's lots of videos on YouTube. If you have friends that weld, ask them. That's what I did. And he taught me a lot about, the type of pattern. You always try to do a figure 8, or you can do a loop. You just want to make it so you go back over your weld, and eventually you can be able to start, as they say, stack dimes, which shows a really, really good smooth weld. The good part about this is that this is 2 flat surfaces, so I can actually sit there and pack it in like that on both surfaces to really get them strong. And I'm going to have to reattach this side, but on this side I have to actually reinforce it, because it was only tack welded on there. And the reason it happened is because the sway bar on this car was this big originally. Now it's this big. Huge difference. It makes it handle like a slot car, but there's a lot of stress now on those tabs. So we're going to get to it. Safety first. I'm going to be blocking off where the gas tank is with a piece of steel. Actually, on this side is the filler neck. It comes over. There's going to be a piece of steel running above that, so I don't hit it with sparks. I kind of don't like fire. I'm a little against it. You know, these are just basic things you need to do. Also, make sure you get at least the good heavy welding gloves. You should be wearing a long sleeve shirt. You know, I realized as I was doing after I looked at the intro, I didn't actually show the welder I was using. It's really it's actually not super basic, but it's this one. It's the, so it's, yeah, the titanium 125 easy flux. I picked it because it's a 125. You get it for a little over $100. It does use smaller spools, which is a downside, but I haven't even gone through the whole spool yet, and I've had this for about a year. I guess I need to weld more. It has a really easy to see and use little basic startup guide. It's not a super heavy duty cycle, but once again, for the home hobbyist, it's more than enough. And I've been very happy with it. And you'll see that the welding I'm going to do with this isn't horrible. So the other thing I didn't talk about was this stuff. This is nozzle gel. This dip is like phenomenal. It keeps, because what happens on a flux core especially is that it gets really hot there, and this will seal itself up, and you'll end up having this actually get clogged, and then this gets clogged, and then you can't weld anymore, and it's a real pain. But this stuff keeps that from happening. Yeah, a pair of diagonal cutters, always to trim the edge. I don't have I didn't buy a welding tool yet, like, you know, but I use this tack hammer because it has a little pointed end, and it's really good for hitting the welds to see if they're actually any good and cleaning off any extra crud. And I also use this wire brush. These are cheap, but these are good to get in there and clean the surface beforehand, and then clean your weld up so you can see where you are. I know that, you know, there's the video coming up with the welding. I screwed up the first one, which I really wanted to get, and but you'll see in the end, I mean, the weld looks pretty but I have driven the car. It's fine. It's holding very much so. It's holding very much so. So, you know, this is a little setup. I mean, honestly, under $200 you could be into welding and just practice with pieces of scrap metal. Never throw any old metal away. Even use you can use brake rotors, old brake rotors, and use them to practice welding technique on. This is really, really good stuff to do. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of add this before I went into the actual welding part of the video. But I have one more thing, is this. This is my power steering bracket for my charger. It cracked right here. You can see a little bit of the weld. But I ground it down, and honestly mounted, you'll never know it, and it's super strong. And here the backside you don't really need to do super nice because it is kind of messy from the factory, but that is smooth. When it's mounted, you'll never see it because it goes up against that perfectly fine. So that I actually can do nice looking welds. Hopefully you get something out of this, because this is and I want to hear your comments. You know, I'm okay. I know I'm not very good at welding, but what it is like, I can weld, anyone can weld. And that's literally what I really mean, is that you really need to be able to just get over the fear of it. It's not a lot of money to get into it. It's very easy to use, very simple to use. And you'll see what I'm doing is that there's nothing except me being very patient and getting a lot of light on the situation. So let's move into the video. Okay, that should be on there now. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other side, which is right there. And it's just tack welded at this point, pretty much. So what I'm gonna end up having to do is do real welds on it. Plenty of light. Let's seal this thing up. The only thing sitting above it, which is scary, is the filler. And I put a piece of metal, as you see, between the filler and where the hell I'm welding. This is really uncomfortable. Let me tell you that much. That felt so much better. That actually looks pretty good. That one didn't come out so good. That was sloppy at the end. And that's such a weird angle. It's got to kind of. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can push the weld. My friend told me to push it. Actually, pushing it seems like a great idea, actually. All right. Let's take a wire brush to this. See how good or bad it came out. This section's done very well. I probably should have popped that off. Damn it. But this is sealed. Yeah, this is sealed nice over here. This is not coming apart. This is pretty good over here. I probably need to puncture a little bit more in, and I need to do a little bit more over here toward the end. I need to fill in. Yeah, I think that's pretty strong. And then we'll finish this up over here. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. Much better. Cool. Okay. Wire brush to that. It actually isn't that bad. It was much better at the beginning. As I got into the darkness, it was harder for me to see. But the two pieces welded together are really welded together. Yeah, that is not coming apart. Let's see, let me take a good look at this and see, look at that. It's not super pretty, but I have some good technique there and some really crap technique. But that is, especially up there, that's welded. That is not coming apart. That is much sturdier than it was. It's super duper strong. It's one piece of metal now. So, yeah. So, there you go. That is basically I'm an amateur welder, just practice on pieces of steel, just took my time, cleaned everything, thought the process through. I mean, that's a difficult thing, laying on your belly trying to do little loop-de-loops and make it, get solid. So, that is now stronger than it ever was. That should never break again. And, anybody can do this just with some practice and time. I've only been doing it for a year, and those are welded. They may not be the best welds in the world. I won't call myself a professional welder, but this is not rocket science. It's just patience and kind of understanding what you need to do. And so I hope you got something from this. And if you did, hey, well, actually, before that, comment. I want you to comment. I know my technique is at best, but comment below. I always like it. Any type of tips or whatever you can offer anybody else, that'd be great. Also, hype this, because if you hype small content creators like myself, we call ourselves that. I don't know why. I'm just a guy that makes videos. We actually get more of the smaller people, because, we don't have production teams. I do all this editing myself. I do all the scripting myself. Everything I do myself. I actually am a car enthusiast just like you. So I just learned how to do this because I knew I needed to fix stuff in my house and my cars. And so finally, if you like this, subscribe, share. If you got something, anything from this, if you found it genuinely entertaining or at least a little bit helpful, please. It would be much appreciated. And I'm still trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm at 2,500. I really just want to try to grow so I can get more helpful tips to more people, especially people under 40 that don't understand carburetors or do welding or anything like that, because they don't teach any of this stuff in school anymore. At least they're starting to now, but there was a period they didn't. So, but thank you very much for watching. And as always, if you have something, oh, this is fun, that's pretty cool, and that's pretty fun, take them out, because you'll make someone's day and it'll probably be your own. And I will talk to you soon.